Welcome to This Explainer. Commercial flooring, it's honestly a high-stakes game. We're talking about massive corporate headquarters, heavy traffic retail spaces, and the crazy thing is, just a single, tiny, overlooked detail on the floor can literally ruin massive project budgets. Now, I'm synthesizing this research for an authoritative mega hub installation guide on GoodCarpetGuide-Com titled Commercial Carpet Installation Guide, Direct Glue, Dual Bond, Subfloor Prep, and Adhesive Science. We're going to completely unpack the undeniable science behind commercial carpet installation. We'll be breaking down the whole shebang from direct glue and dual bond methods all the way to subfloor diagnostics and some pretty complex adhesive chemistry. Okay, let's dive into this. The Carpet and Rug Institute, or the CRI, as we call them, states in their 104 standard that carpet, when bonded with an adhesive, essentially forms a skin over the substrate. Think of it like this. The concrete subfloor is the skeleton of your building, and the carpet is the skin. If those bones are flawed, if they're uneven or contaminated, well, that skin is absolutely going to reveal every single hidden imperfection. A perfect installation doesn't start with the carpet fibers. It starts from the ground up. It starts with the bones.
So here is our masterclass agenda for today. We'll start with the CRI 104 standard, move through subfloor prep and diagnostics, tackle adhesive science and selection, break down direct glue-down mechanics, look at double glue-down installations, and finally we'll wrap up with preventing carpet delamination. Let's get right into Section 1, the CRI 104 standard, the rulebook for textile floors. The CRI 104 is essentially the umbrella document. It's the ultimate rulebook setting the baseline standard to prevent installation-related failures. And it is fascinating, honestly kind of mind-blowing, how many massive commercial failures stem directly from just ignoring these very basic environmental controls. For instance, the standard strictly requires the indoor temperature to sit between 65 and 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and you cap that relative humidity at 65%. On top of that, your HVAC system must be running for 48 hours before the installation and 72 hours after. You also have to let the carpet relax and condition in that space for at least 24 hours to prevent wrinkling. I mean, if you skip these steps, you are quite literally setting your adhesive up to fail before you even pop the lid off the bucket. Moving on to Section 2, Subfloor Prep and Diagnostics, the foundation. Now, what's really interesting about this is the invisible danger hiding right inside the concrete. Any concrete floor, even when it looks perfectly cured and feels completely dry to the touch, can still allow moisture vapor to pass straight through to the surface. This moisture emission rate is a huge deal. It heavily influences your long-term success. If you don't test the concrete for moisture and alkalinity, that invisible vapor is going to slowly dissolve your latex adhesives right from the bottom up, and that leads to total, widespread failure. So, how do we fight back? Installers have to strictly follow ASTM F710 preparation protocols. Basically, this means the slab has to be structurally sound, clean, bone-dry, and completely free of dust, old paint, or any of those topical curing compounds that acts like a bond breaker. And when you're dealing with patching cracks or holes that are bigger than 1/8 of an inch, you need a Portland cement-based patching material like Webcrete or Feather Finish. Actually, a quick tip, stay far away from gypsum-based compounds here. They simply don't give you the structural integrity you need for heavy commercial traffic.
All right, Section 3, Adhesive Science and Selection, the bond.
If the concrete is the skeleton and the carpet is the skin, chemical adhesives are the muscles binding the whole thing together. Looking at this breakdown of premium commercial adhesives, it becomes super clear that you have to perfectly match the chemistry to your specific environmental tolerances. For heavy broadloom, you've got Roberts 3095. That's a high solids SBR latex, giving you incredible shear strength handling up to 90% relative humidity. Need a crazy rapid turnaround? The MAPI Equal 185 FTR is a synthetic polymer letting you get light foot traffic in just 2 to 3 hours. Fast, right? And for those really extreme environments, the MAPI Eco 810 acrylic copolymer can take an astonishing 99% relative humidity and severe concrete alkalinity up to pH 11. It's just brilliant chemistry engineered for very specific job site challenges. But listen up, because you have to be incredibly careful here.
Henry 430 Clear Pro is a fantastic adhesive for vinyl composition tile, sure, but you must absolutely never use it for solid vinyl tiles or vinyl-backed modular carpets. Why? Well, if you pair the specific clear acrylic latex with the vinyl backing, you trigger a nasty chemical reaction called plasticizer migration. The plasticizers in the vinyl literally leach out into the adhesive, and they turn it into this gooey, permanent liquid mess that completely destroys the bond. It's a wildly expensive disaster, But the good news is it's 100% preventable if you just follow the science.
And this brilliantly illustrates where chemical science literally meets physical application on the job site. The size and the shape of the trowel notches, whether they're U-notched or V-notched, directly dictate exactly how much adhesive gets spread onto the subfloor. For example, a 1/8 by 1/8 by 1/8 inch U-notched trowel gives you a spread rate of about 8 to 10 square yards per gallon. But here is the critical takeaway. Those trowel notches physically wear down as they scrape across the rough concrete all day. Installers have to constantly maintain and replace those trowels. If they don't, the adhesive spread rate drops, and you just don't get enough muscle down there to hold the carpet in place.
Let's hit section 4, direct glue down mechanics, the standard setup. So, in a standard direct glue down, the installer is physically troweling that high solids adhesive right onto the prepared concrete subfloor. After waiting for the proper open time, which, remember, is heavily dictated by those temperature and humidity rules we talked about earlier, the carpet is pressed directly into the adhesive to create a solid, immovable bond.
The real beauty of this method? It's all about sheer stability. Since there's zero padding involved, the carpet keeps a very low profile. That makes it the absolute ultimate choice for heavy rolling traffic, ramp areas, and places needing wheelchair accessibility. It virtually eliminates seam peaking and buckling altogether. But to guarantee that the adhesive fully transfers into the carpet backing, you absolutely have to roll it in both directions with a heavy 75 to 100-pound roller right after it's placed. No skipping leg day on this one.
Section 5, double glue down installations, the hybrid approach. Now, this is a bit more complex. It's a hybrid approach, a two-step adhesive process. First off, you trowel the adhesive and glue a specialized high-density commercial carpet cushion straight to the concrete. Then, you go back and apply a second layer of adhesive right on top of that cushion and glue the carpet down to the pad. Let's move to and see how this builds into the decision-making process. How do specifiers actually choose between the two? Well, if a facility manager is outfitting a busy hospital corridor with constant heavy gurneys rolling through, direct glue down provides that ultimate zero-movement stability they desperately need. But if you're dealing with an executive boardroom or a high-end luxury hotel lobby, double glue down is a total game changer. It gives you incredible acoustic sound absorption, thermal insulation, and underfoot comfort while still maintaining enough dimensional stability to keep the carpet from stretching out over time. And finally, Section 6. Preventing carpet delamination, the longevity.
So what exactly is delamination? It's defined as the physical separation of the layers of a carpet. Most commercial carpets have 4 parts: a face yarn, a primary backing, a latex adhesive binder, and a secondary backing. When that internal latex binder fails, the primary and secondary backings literally detach from each other. Visually, it is not pretty. You're going to see severe rippling, bubbling, buckling, and frayed seams just pulling apart across the floor.
So what causes this kind of catastrophic failure? Sometimes, sure, it's a manufacturing defect with a weak latex bond right out of the factory. But honestly, very often, it comes down to facility maintenance. Prolonged water damage or flooding will rot the latex over time. Chemical saturation from overwetting the carpet during cleaning, or even acidic pet urine turning alkaline, will just eat away at that backing. And get this, using ozone generators to clear out room odors, that can actually introduce gases that chemically dissolve carpet latex. Who knew? Also, physically dragging heavy furniture or repeatedly grinding feet on corner pivot points will just physically tear those backings apart. Which leaves us with one final vital question for every facility manager, architect, and installer watching this. Are you specifying the right bond for your building's footprint? Understanding the science behind the CRI 104 standard, moisture emissions, trowel mechanics, and adhesive chemistry, this isn't just dry technical jargon. It's the absolute difference between a floor that lasts 2 beautiful decades and a multi-million-dollar failure just waiting to happen. So consider your environment, choose your method wisely, and remember, never, ever ignore the bones of your building.